This video is about Vico, a program which is used for both planning and calculation. And you can see the interface here. I want to start off by saying that if you want to get onto Vico, if you're working at the school, then it's not a problem because you can use one of the 100 licenses that are available. But if you're working from home with Vico, you need to get onto this VPN connection. Otherwise, it doesn't work at home. So that's the first thing said. After that, if we click on here, right-click on here, then you can open the Vico Office. And of course, this is a suite of different programs, if you like, in the Vico suite of programs. Before we can start anything at all, we need to establish a project. And right now, I have a project already which I'm going to work. It's called the VIA House. I have loaded it up, but I want to show how to delete a project first and foremost. So I'm going to delete this and then I'm going to re-establish it. So first of all, mark the program. You can see it's marked here because of the color, and then delete it. And once it's deleted, then it'll take a while, and you can see it disappear from this. And you can see it disappeared now. So the next thing we need to do is to establish a project in Vico before we start importing anything from any models from, for example, Revit. So the first thing we'll do now is to go in and establish a new project. And you can see this I sign here. And I'm going to use VIA House, as I had before when I deleted. And click enter, and you can see it takes a little while to establish, but after a while you can see it's established. We have to wait a little while. Now we can see that the project is established, and that means that a name has appeared here. And we can now leave Vico for a minute and go into our Revit. And here's a Revit model. I have this is the model you know from the VIA House. I have detailed the roof to maybe a ridiculous extent just to show how we can use it. You can see there are rafters and battens and even plates on which to build the roof structure, which is a kind of asphalt roof. And I've even drawn in the different asphalt, roads of asphalt onto the roof, and also the different strips on top of the asphalt roofing, the triangular strips. So this is quite a detailed structure. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send this now to Vico, or I'm going to export it to Vico. And you go into add-ins, go into external tools, and publish it as a Vico file. And when we do that, when we click on the export, we get this here. This is the actual project we previously established on Vico, the VIA House. And I click create a model, and I publish it now. And in a few moments, you get this sign up saying that some of the actual parts of this building here are not models, but are maybe annotations and so on. So they're not going to come over. Click OK, and the operation is now finished. It's been exported. So click OK to that. We can now leave the Revit model, go back into our Vico. And if I just scroll down here on this side of the panel, I can see that it's open. And if I go into model register here, this is the important part, go into model register here, and we're under the Vico Office again. Click on the 3D model here, click on the actual file of that Revit export, and then activate selected. I might have to activate this again. It's my experience sometimes that some of the stuff doesn't come in. But if I click on here now, I can see my model in 3D. You can see the 3D view is open here. I can go in and I can click on here and zoom all. I can use this orbit tool as well to orbit the model. And to get rid of the orbit tool, I just click escape on my keypad. I can also put in this structure here. This gives me a kind of like a section box. If I click on one of the surfaces, you can see the handles appear of the section box. I can hold my my left mouse down, and I can move. So I can section through the building itself, as you can see here. And if I zoom in, you can see the detailing of the model itself. Well, what can I show you more? Yes, well, what we can do is we can actually click on here and open, let's say, 3 different tiling elements. Here we have the 3 different tiling elements. I'm just going to click on here and change my suite to the cost planner. And now I clicked on the cost planner. I can go into plan costs here under 4, the cost planner. Open that up and see what happens. Here we have a place where we can actually begin to develop our costs by breaking down our structure. And I'm just going to click on here again and open that here and open the cost planner down here. So I go in here and open the cost planner. It's there. I get my cost planner here. I can open my 3D model here, my 3D view here. And here we can see the 3D view. Go and click on there. And again, I can activate this surface here, and I can push it in, so I can see my my 3D model here. Down here, I am going to use something called the takeoff manager, or the takeoff manager here, yeah. And if I click on there, I should get a breakdown of my model as a takeoff, but sometimes it doesn't appear. So what I do is I go back into my dashboard here, and I click on the model here, and I go into model model register again, click on the actual model, and activate it again. Because sometimes I find that it doesn't get activated properly. So let's see if that has happened now. If I just go into the takeoff here, click on now, and seemingly nothing has happened. Just come back into the cost planner here. Maybe I should just right click and look at the takeoff manager and see what happens there. And when I go into the model takeoff, click on there. I'm still not getting any. The model register here. Click on there. Oh yeah, I know. I think I know what's happened. Activate the model. Change activation options. This is about the Revit model. If you have the architectural side, you have the MEP side. Let's just click on the families tabs here. I don't have any MEP, so I'm going to click on there. Click OK, and the model is activated now. So I'm just going to go into the takeoff manager, and you can see the takeoff manager now takes off all the different items that are drawn in this building, like the external walls. If I click on here, you can see, well, as I clicked on there, you can see what I'm looking at. When I click on here, you can see it's the internal walls out here on the inside, then the foundations, and if I look at the, for example, here, it's the roof surface, and so on and so forth. So all the different things can be clicked on. So now I'm going to go and click here, and I'm going to click on my 3 different views, and I will now go in, and I will choose these different views. First of all, the cost planner here, and in this one here, the 3D view, and in this one here, hopefully now the takeoff view, the takeoff manager here. I can see my different takeoffs there. And then I can start to plan here manually by writing down the different things I want to plan. Well, I can use this as a basis. I have external walls, I have different things, I have foundations and so on. So perhaps I would start off here by writing down the different items in the order I want to do things in. What I do is I click enter every time I've entered something like foundations consists of outer foundations, and for example, enter that, and then inner foundations. Now those are two components of the foundation. So if I click on there, hold down the control key, mark the next one, and then indent them, you can see now that these are part of the foundations. And in that way, I start to click on the different things. I'm just going to mark these foundations here, or I'm just going to use the this tool to mark the section box, activate the section box, and move it in by holding the key down, so that when I click on these different foundations, I can see what's what. So now I have here the foundations. I want to bring in the outer foundations, which the yellow color indicates. I just want to zoom in so you can see it. And if I click on this little plus button down here, I can see these foundations consist of 32 meters. I'm just going to click on here and move away from this box, which is active, and then hold this one down. Let me just see if I can just, well, let me just click on this side here, hold this one down, and pull it in, and drop it here at the outer foundation. You can just see where the arrow is on the left-hand side here, and click on there. And now we can see the 32 meters is in there. The 32 meters, which is down here, is now up there. And if I go to the right, I can see if there's a waste percent, let's say there's a waste percent of 5%, then I can write 1.05 and click enter. And you can see that instead of 32, we need to have 33.8. And I can also go and put in the unit price in now. So I can click on here, and I can put a unit price here. Well, I don't know what it is, or what the foundations cost right now, standing here, but let's say it's 350 krona per square meter. Oh, sorry, per running meter it is. It says running meter there, it says running meter there. And click enter, and you have the cost there in krona. So this is how you would build up the calculation, basically. And next time I would, for example, put here walls. And walls consist of outer walls and inner walls. So I'll just click enter there, click down there. And I identify, just break this down here, and identify my outer walls. This is presumably my inner walls here. If I click on there, I'm looking for a surface now, because walls are measured in surface. If I click on there, you can see the indication that it's an inner wall we're measuring. It's gone yellow over there. And we're looking for, let's say, top surface, opposite, let me just see, it's a net reference side surface. So you can see the side surface of it. Just, I've marked it here. Just move to the next box that's not marked and drag it in. It's very important to move to the next box. When you're dragging it in, then drop it in there, and I have the 35 in there, and now it's a question of going in and finding out if there's any waste. I'm just going to leave it with no waste, and I'm just going to write in here that the unit cost is, let's just guess at something, let's say it's 200 krona per square meter. I would obviously look up the right price, and then you have the total price in here for the item. So this is how we build up our calculation, and that ends this video, the first video in the series, lesson 1.